The interesting thing about that is when we talk about efficacy, part of it is like, what does that mean, right? So when you think about this study, you take one group of people and you give them, they end up getting the placebo, so they don't get the real vaccine. Another group gets the vaccine. And then they look after a certain amount of time and they ask the question, how many of them in each group actually had symptomatic COVID? And it have to be symptomatic because that's how they're raising their hand and say they have COVID. And so we talk about this efficacy, it's really more about how good is this vaccine at preventing one from getting COVID, right? So that's how these were really done. Now, the thing when you really think about this is that first, they did this work looking at influenza, and influenza was 50%. Yeah, I think it was actually more between 40 and 60, right? And so when we start talking about efficacy rates, the FDA said, look, as long as it's 50% or better, we're going to actually approve it for emergency use. So you've got Johnson & Johnson, which in the US, I believe it's 72% effective. And actually, there's another number they quote very often, 85%, which tells you how effective it was from preventing severe disease, which is probably even most important for us. But either way, it's way above that threshold of 50%. If we didn't have Moderna or Pfizer at 90+%, we'd be all really, really excited about Johnson & Johnson, and we should be, because these are all three vaccines that have proven to be very effective in terms of preventing symptomatic disease and doing it in a way that's better than the threshold that we'd set of 50%. So, they are different in terms of that, different mechanisms in terms of how they work. But I tell people all the time, whichever one you can get, as soon as you can get it, when your number comes up, by all means get it.